Welcome to the S3D Sidekick podcast series, where we explore the cutting-edge world of biomechanics and sports performance. In each episode, we connect with top industry experts and sports scientists to discover the latest technologies and research, helping you stay ahead of the ever-evolving sports biomechanics landscape. Be sure to follow and subscribe so you don't miss out. Today, we're thrilled to welcome Jack Wertz, product manager at Blast Motion. Jack, who played Division I golf at Xavier University, has been with Blast for over a year, focusing on player development tools for golf. We dive into how Blast Motion technology is revolutionizing golf training and the key metrics that can help athletes elevate their game. Let's get started.
Welcome to the S3D Sidekick podcast series for biomechanics and sports performance. Join us as we dive in and discuss the latest cutting-edge technology and research as we will connect with industry experts and sports scientists. Follow and subscribe.
Hey guys, welcome back to the S3D Sidekick podcast. Today we're joined by Jack Wertz. He's with Blast Motion on the golf side. He's been with Blast just for over a year now. He played D1 golf at Xavier University. So we're happy to have him. And Jack, if you want to kind of just give a background on kind of where things started for you, how you got involved with Blast, and kind of how you got involved with golf as well.
For sure. Thanks, Will. Thanks for having me on here today. I really appreciate the opportunity. Yes, I have a background in golf. As Will mentioned, I did play collegiately at Xavier University. We actually got wrapped up in Blast Motion my senior year of college. I wasn't too familiarized with Blast technology, Blast Motion technology, until my senior year of college when we went into the off season. So during the off season, my senior year, we started to use Blast Motion. Found it to be a great tool for putting practice, short game practice, and I'll get into it a little bit deeper throughout the podcast here. But I definitely found it to be beneficial for player development and what other amateurs and professionals should work towards moving forward in their careers.
Nice. So you played golf at Xavier. What did you study? Did you study like engineering, or did you have any interest in like technology in sports? Is that kind of what you studied?
Yeah, so I studied sports management at Xavier University with a minor in business. So I was more involved on the I guess the customer facing end. So a lot of communication classes, how to handle business opportunities such as what I'm dealing with now. So right now, within my current role at Blast Motion, it tied in well to what I was learning and majoring in college. I found it to kind of run hand in hand. I'm able to relate to customers pretty well through communication. Learned a lot of communication skills that have proved to be beneficial when I'm on the phone with customers, as well as providing that feedback, whether that's through phone call or email. So yeah, that definitely tied in well to what I'm doing now as a product support specialist here at Blast.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was gonna ask. So you started using the sensors in your play at college, and then there's just opportunity at Blast that you're able to apply and kind of just join the team. Is that kind of how it fell into place?
Yes, for sure. So like I said, I didn't really know about Blast until my senior year of college. Did find it to be very helpful, like I said, in terms of the metrics that it came with, such as tempo, timing, face angle at impact, lie, loft, as well as using it from a full swing aspect as well. So we're measuring clubhead speed, tempo as well, timing. So in terms of player development in a practice environment, I think Blast Motion is a great tool to help players develop in terms of what they're doing from a practice setting and taking that to the golf course. It produces in-game results, and it's trying to enable athletes to become the best version of themselves with where you start at practice.
Nice. And what are some of the metrics that you guys are looking at in golf? I know we mentioned some pre-impact metrics. I don't know if can you expand on that? Just kind of give a brief overview of what pre-impact metrics are and why they're kind of crucial to understanding, or for a golfer to understand to be able to improve their performance.
Yeah, so with pre-impact metrics, we're referring to the measurements and data that's been collected just before moment of impact between the club and the ball. So what you're doing in a golf swing from address to top of backswing, and then from top of backswing down to impact, as well as within the putting stroke, we're also looking at that as well, from how you're setting up to the ball to top of backstroke, and then from top of backstroke to impact. So that's basically what the pre-impact metrics mean in a sense. So what you're doing within a golf swing in terms of mechanics from address to top of backstroke or top of backswing, and then down to impact. And then we can get a little bit in depth, a little bit further down here regarding some of the metrics that we're measuring, as well as the ones I find to be most important for a player development standpoint.
Yeah, yeah. If you want to go dive into it, what are the metrics that you find to be most important?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, I think the most important metrics that we see on a daily basis are tempo, first off, obviously, as well as the timing metrics. So we have backstroke time and downswing or backswing time and downswing time, as well as backstroke time and down or forward stroke time.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, with those, we're always looking for that 2-to-1 ratio. Everybody's timing is going to be, everybody's timing is going to be different from a putting standpoint. But as I mentioned, a 2-to-1 ratio is ideal there because with gravity and the general pendulum of a putting stroke, you're going to see that backstroke time is going to be twice as long as what you should see from a putting standpoint to forward stroke. So that's where you want to be at 2-to-1 ratio. Like I said, everybody's timing is different. Most tour players we see are around like that 0.6 to 0.3 ratio. But like I said, I mean, we're not putting customers in that 0.6, 0.3. It's whatever you want in terms of consistency and what works best for you from a 2-to-1 standpoint.
Yeah, it's interesting. Sometimes I'll go on the golf course and I'll see usually older gentlemen swing a golf club and they have these crazy swings, and it's like how does that even ball go straight? But it works for them. So golf is kind of a weird sport where your mechanics can kind of be goofy, but if the ball goes straight, the ball goes straight, right? And if it goes long enough, that's good. But yeah, how do these data points influence a player's development? Like what if I'm using a blast sensor for motion or a player is using a blast sensor for motion, what should they be continually looking at to help improve their performance in their swing, whether get more distance, ball speed, or accuracy?
Yeah, so I'll start off first with putting, since we're more focused on the putting aspect. So when I'm instructing individuals or talking to customers on the phone, I usually start off with the importance of our tempo, so timing metrics, as I mentioned, as well as space angle at impact and lie and loft. So with those metrics all together, I try to create a plan for the customer in terms of all of this revolves around proper setup. So if you're not set up correctly in a position where the putter's square at address, then you're going to see your face angle at impact metric a little bit skewed on that sense. And what I mean by that is, so our sensor doesn't exactly know where you're aiming. So I see a lot of players set up open, so their putter face is slightly open to address where their toe is up. So in reality, they're over rotating the putter through impact, consistently seeing like -2 degrees, -3 degrees shut. Whereas with our video analysis tool is great because if I want to look at a player's stroke, so a player's putting stroke, I'll be able to dissect and visually see whether a player is set up shut or if their player is set up open. And then I can also see how that heel set or toe set to kind of offset some of those metrics and get it more consistent on our end.
Okay. And it's just a sensor on the end of the golf club, right? Or is there more to it?
Correct. So the sensor goes on the end of any golf club. You can intertwine that between adding different clubs into the Blast Golf app. But basically, with our Blast Motion logo, it's a stick figure. So the head of the Blast logo has to be pointed down the shaft at the club head to capture accurate metrics. It seems to be super frustrating for customers when I get them on the phone because they're like, "Oh, I'm not seeing any data appear on my app," and I'm like, "Well, do you have the sensor aligned correctly?" So that's the number one issue that we see golf customers get a little bit frustrated about over the phone. But once they're dialed in there, they're pretty interested in the tech and the data points that we're measuring there.
Yeah, that's kind of like the pain points with any tech is as people is becoming familiar with how it works and how to properly set it all up. How accurate is it to like a SAM putt lab system, or I would say a competitor putting system?
Yeah, so with the SAM Lab putting system, they're actually able to see, as I mentioned before, like our sensor doesn't know where you're aiming, so we're not measuring like club path, whereas like a SAM Putt Lab has that data point. So, like I said, all of ours are pre-impact and it's calibrated based off of rotation and tempo and timing within the sensor. Whereas with SAM Putt Lab, I mean, you can pick like club path or where somebody's aiming in relation to their face angle. So it's a little bit different, but Blast Motion is a great tool in terms of pre-impact metrics and what you're seeing from a timing and rotation standpoint there.
Yeah, what is the biggest issue that the Blast Motion sensor addresses that you see a lot of your users doing, whether you mentioned have their club face open, is it that, and like is this something that a coach could be able to identify pretty quickly using your platform and sensor?
For sure, yeah. So it is a great player development tool, as I mentioned. Biggest things that I like to focus on when I'm talking to customers that are having issues with not only putting, but other modes that we offer, such as full swing, short game, bunker mode, as well as air swings. Biggest thing I focus on with customers that are struggling, though, is first talking about putting. So for customers struggling with putting, I usually break it down into sections. So tempo works with timing, so the timing metrics. That definitely helps. That definitely helps from a customer when I talk to them on a timing perspective, because with our timing metrics, that helps with speed control, right? So regardless of the length of the putt, you should see the same timing regardless of that length of the putt. So what I mean by that is if I'm hitting a 3-foot putt, your timing should remain the same even if you're hitting a 20-foot putt. Obviously, your backstroke length is going to fluctuate and it's going to vary depending on how short or long a putt is, but your timing metrics should remain the same. So customers really like to hear that, and they seek pretty consistent improvement over the phone when I get them on the phone and tell them, hey, like you need to be 2-to-1 ratio. That helps their speed control much better. And then I usually get into face angled impact and the importance of that as that influences direction of a putt.
Nice. Yeah, and now are people using this for practice? Or are they using this like do you have any players like using this on tour, or even if it's even legal on tour to be used, or like in their gameplay on the course, or is it just used normally just like on the putting what's it called, the putting
practice putting green?
Yeah, the putting area. Yeah, practice putting area.
Yeah.
Putting green.
Yeah, so so right now it's just geared towards a practice setting. We work with I think there are over 200 plus professionals. Not sure exactly from what tours, but we do have over 200 plus professionals that use the Blast Motion sensor. So as I mentioned previously, yes, this is a great player development tool to take to the practice putting green before a round, because you're able to hone in on what your timing is that day. and try to create as much consistency, as well as seeing what your putter is doing in terms of rotation, as well as lie and loft on how you're setting up, and then taking that from the practice putting green to the golf course in competition when there's pressure situations. So it's a good tool to create consistency within that practice platform, and then take what you're getting from that practice environment and take that to a competition setting.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really find interesting about the blast sensor is that you can, it's fairly inexpensive. You can use it and be able to get that continuous feedback on your player development or your strategy when you're either putting or hitting the ball on the course. So yeah, that continuous feedback is really important, I think, to make sure you're monitoring your improvement and yeah, getting better.
For sure. Yeah, another point on that as well. So with full swing and short game, what I like to talk about as well from a customer standpoint or player development standpoint, when I'm working with people, is first focusing on club head speed and how that relates to distance. So if you use the blast motion sensor when you go to a driving range, you're able to tell, as we do measure club head speed as a metric, you'll be able to tell how far you're hitting a certain shot based off of the club speed in the blast motion golf app. So what I mean by that is basically, if you have a 100-yard wedge shot, it's a great tool to use because you're able to relate that back to what that club head speed is showing in the Blast Golf app, and then matching that up as you take that from the practice driving range to the golf course. So it's a good tool to use if you're out on the driving range and you're able to use your rangefinder or a launch monitor to get how far a ball is carrying, and then match that up to what that club head speed is showing in the Blast Golf app there.
Nice. And that's cool. I geek out on learning about different technology in all sports, but golf is definitely one where there's a lot of technology being used to help improve guys' game, or girls' game too. So yeah, do you want to tease about any future developments for Blast Golf?
Yeah. So we're in the works of obviously expanding our technology here. So we're working towards new platforms and new databases where we're able to provide advanced insights on player development, as well as different assessments and or challenges. So that'll be coming down the road here, but that's just something to keep an eye out on. You'll receive notifications from our marketing team once we're closer to getting that new tech out there. But yes, it'll be a great new platform with advanced insights, great tool for player development. It almost feel like you have a coach in your pocket at all times telling you what you need to work on and what areas need to improve in your within your blast metrics.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I know we're pretty excited for that. We've been using your guys' sensor in our lab with our motion capture system we have set up, and we've currently just we built out a report using your sensor with force plates and motion capture. So as far as I know, it's kind of provides that complete solution, kind of turnkey solution in golf, where it's markerless, it's 3D. You get force plate. We're gonna integrate some ball tracking and then also your sensor, so you get the full picture. So if it's cool, because then if you have a blast sensor, you can take it out to the field and kind of get your metrics that you guys are collecting. But if you wanted to go to one of our labs or go to a golf coach that has our system, they can use the blast sensor still, but still get that full picture of that 3D kinematic data on their swing, and apply it to the blast data as well. So that's definitely that's something we're pumped about, and that the more advanced metrics will definitely start to integrate into our reports and really help a lot of players out.
Yeah, one last point here too, Will. So with blast motion for golf
Yeah.
as well. So we do have air swing mode as well
Mm.
as offline mode. So
Mm.
air swings you can practice anytime, anywhere without a golf ball. That's only swing based, correct? So uh, it's only going to be offered for full swing or short game or bunker mode. Whereas with putting, you're not going to obviously be able to take advantage of the air swing mode, but you get what I mean there by that.
Mhm.
With matching that up with what you're trying to work on, maybe with clubhead speed or timing, and trying to take that from an off-season setting and trying to get the most out of the tech, as well as with offline mode. Basically, with offline mode, you're able to put the blast motion sensor on the end of your club, and then say if you're at the putting green, and you don't want to see the data in real time, you're able to as well download all of the putts after a session, and then you can go back and look at your timing metrics, your face angle at impact, whatever you want to look at there. So that's also a nice mode that we offer if you don't want to see the data in real time every time.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. That's cool. No, I think that's pretty much it. Do you have anything else you want to add? And then I can try to wrap things up.
No, yeah, just everybody stay in touch with our latest updates from our marketing department. But yes, we have a lot of stuff going on. Like I said, we'll have a lot of new advanced insights, challenges, assessments within our new platforms coming out here in the coming months. So just stay tuned and look forward to all those that to start using Blast Motion down the road.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. Well, thanks, Jack. I hope our listeners got some good insights on your product and the sensor used in golf, and the importance of that pre-impact metrics for putting and for their swings, and learned a little bit how the sensor can help with their player development, and how we're integrating the sensor. So yeah, appreciate your time, and for listeners, go follow Blast Motion, go look into their product, go to their website. It's a fairly inexpensive. So if you're looking to you're interested in using tech in sports, it's a good introduction into what this market's doing. Or if you're looking just to improve your game, it's definitely a good tool. Like I said, if you want that further insight, that holistic picture, make sure to check out one of our hubs for S3D, and we can give you that golf report that we've built. So yeah, thanks for your time, Jack. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of the S3D Sidekick podcast. We hope you enjoyed our conversation with Jack Wertz from Blast Motion and gained some valuable insights into how technology is shaping the future of golf performance. If you found this episode helpful, don't forget to follow, subscribe, and share it with your fellow athletes, coaches, and friends. Stay tuned for more discussions with industry experts as we continue to explore the latest advancements in biomechanics and sports performance. Until next time, keep pushing your limits and striving for excellence.